Hi, this is Clayton Gits with the Gits Group and Keller Williams Realty, and this is Richmond Real Estate TV coming at you with an April 2014 market update. So I'm just going to hop right in here because I've got a lot to share with you today. I want to start off with mortgage rates. So as you'll see by this first slide here, 30-year fixed rate mortgages are going up. Shouldn't be a surprise to anybody at this point. If we go back to 2008, you'll see where that red line there is the housing crisis, essentially, 2007, 2008, that was the housing collapse. Then the Federal Reserve in 2008 stepped in and began purchasing our bonds, U.S. bonds and mortgage-backed securities to drive long-term interest rates low to stimulate the economy. Mission accomplished. Okay, so the lower interest rates are, the more that big institutional investors, big companies, and the individual consumer feel comfortable going out there and purchasing because money is cheaper. So again, mission accomplished there. As you will see, the Fed is beginning to taper those bonds and mortgage-backed security purchases. They actually did that late last quarter, fourth quarter of 2013, and they're continuing to do that just about every month when they meet. They're reducing their purchasing program by about $10 billion per month. That is why interest rates are beginning to increase. So what we want to keep a close eye on is what happens when they completely remove that Band-Aid and whether or not interest rates will remain stable. If they don't, then we'll be having a different conversation here soon. If they do, then I think we're going to continue to see a housing and therefore economic recovery. So good news there. Interest rates are projected to increase up to 5 to 5.5% by the end of 2014, first quarter of 2015. They're hovering right around 4.5% for a 30-year fixed rate conventional mortgage today. So it'd be a great time to think about buying or selling a home today before interest rates increase another point here over the next 8 to 12 months. Now, there's been a lot of talk in the media. I've been talking to my clients about it. Pending home sales and existing home sales nationally and here locally in Virginia, Central Virginia, are falling considerably. So you'll see from this next slide with pending home sales versus May, June, July of last year, they fell off a cliff. Now, if you go back on this same slide and look at January a year ago, or 2 years ago, you'll see that pending home sales were also down then. Keep in mind that we had a very rough winter nationally, and so that certainly had something to do with people not going out there and purchasing homes like they would have. So there's some seasonality here. It's expected that the inventory home sales are going to increase as we move into the spring market here. Same thing with existing home sales. You'll see a big decline again. So as we have higher and higher demand and lower inventory, that tends to put positive pressure on prices. That's why prices are going up. However, there aren't enough homes to meet the demand for buyers, especially in certain locations here in Central Virginia and obviously nationally as well. So from there, let's look at the percent change in housing sales. So one of the reasons that existing home sales are down as well as pending home sales nationally is driven by the West. You can see here, it's obvious by this slide. Now this is fourth quarter data of 2013. We don't have first quarter yet. I should have that for you on our next update. But in the West, home sales decreased by 8.1% year over year. That's a big number, and that's driving the national decline in existing home sales, because you can see in all other parts of the country, the Northeast was up considerably, over 7%, Midwest 2%, and the South, which is where we are, Virginia, was up 3.6% year over year. The average, when it's averaged out, we're sitting right at 8% positive increase in home sales year over year. So it's the West and what's going on out there that is what we're hearing about in the media in terms of existing home sales and pending home sales being down. That's not the case here in Virginia. So Year-over-year price change by state. We're going to start with Virginia on this slide since that's where we live. Do want to point out that the data that we're looking at is from the fourth quarter of 2013. I will have first quarter of 2014 for our next update. So I'm looking forward to seeing that information as well. So I think it's going to be higher for Virginia. So year over year, fourth quarter 2013 versus fourth quarter of 2012, 2.8% increase in home sales in Virginia. Obviously, some markets are experiencing a greater increase. Some markets are experiencing less of an increase in price. Email me, call me if you have questions about your specific market or your home. I do want to point out what's going on in the West. You look at California, Nevada, Arizona, 19.5% increase in price in California. 24.3% increase in price in Nevada. Unsustainable. Okay, so now they had big decreases, so they've got much further to come up than we did. So it makes sense, but certainly want to see this stabilize a little bit because that's bubble territory if that kind of growth continues. So we'll keep a close eye on that as well because what tends to happen out west, kind of moves our way. Now, one of my favorite slides to present to our viewers is the return on investment slide. You take this all the way back to January of 2000, and had you invested in the Dow, you would have realized over a 49% increase in your monies. If you had invested in real estate, however, even with the massive housing collapse, you would still have realized a 65.7% increase in your investment. Awesome. That's why I invest in real estate. If you have any questions about your specific market, your home, please don't hesitate to give us a call. We are passionate about selling homes and helping buyers in Central Virginia. And any information that you feel would be helpful that you'd like for us to research, please let me know. Just email me, and I'd be happy to look into it for you. When I'm doing my research for these market updates, it's very educational for me, but I want to make sure that I'm providing value for our listeners, our clients, friends, and family as well. Have a fantastic day. We're never too busy for your referrals. Clayton Gits with the Gits Group and Keller Williams Realty.